Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I thought that I was going to be done with my jelly plate for a little while, but I wanted to go back and try a few things. So I tried a few things with my smaller jelly plate, which is a 5x7, and I feel like for video purposes, it's a lot better because it's smaller, so you can see a lot more of what I'm doing. I'm really excited to show you the things I was experimenting with. And first of all, I just want to show you my runoff pages. And you guys these are great. Like, this is a grocery bag, a brown paper bag. They're just great to have for collage and stuff. To do a master board. So this is kind of what I'm working on for my Diva Delight project in May, is doing different master boards and fun stuff with them. So doing the master board and then adding some interesting things to them to make cool tag backgrounds. So I just wanted to show you, just save all these things, because you can always, like on this side, you could always add something to this if you want. And they're just fun papers to collage with. So that's what I have from that. I am going to start with these. Can we just look at this for a minute? I am in love with this. So I used alcohol inks for these, and I saw this technique. I was kind of afraid to do it because it does have the possibility of staining your stencil, your plate, and your stuff that you're working with. But I loved the look of it so much that I really wanted to try it. So I went ahead and tried it. It did not stain my plate. It did stain my brayer. And it stained my stencil a little bit. So if I move this is the stencil that I used. I just got it in Happy Mail and I loved it so much. And I thought this is so perfect to use with the alcohol inks. So I had to try it. And I mean, what good are art supplies if we don't get them messy, right? So I do this one. Now, let me see. This is just, I blotted some of the ink off. But I love the colors of this so much. And then these, and I went with these colors that I really like the background. And since I'm doing my ocean journals, doesn't this look like an underwater something, like seaweed and coral and stuff? This would be great to just add some fish die cuts or something. So I think this one turned out better than this one, but for the first time doing this, I was really happy with it. So this is at the end. I do the alcohol inks at the end, but I had to start with showing you guys these because it was my favorite. Let's look at the stuff that I played with. Let me find one that is, okay, well this one, like you can see, I did some string. So this is playing around with some string. And I did add, there's a couple of layers on top of this, like this orange design that you see is this doily thing that I use, and I just got this in Happy Mail also today. It's kind of a, I don't know what that, like a plasticky feel to it. So it would be good for dyeing papers and things to leave that imprint. But these are my string papers. I have this one, and of course you can see bubble wrap. You guys, if you have a print that you're just not totally happy with, and you'll see in the video, I go back in with my bubble wrap just to add some extra color. And it just makes a huge difference, in my opinion, for what I like. There's another one. Now I think this was a string one. I was trying to do, it didn't work out so well, but I just went over top with some gold, and this looks great now. Another string paper. Another string paper. And I'm saving this for last because this is my favorite. I just love this. So I'll put these guys aside. And then I wanted to experiment more with using the doily. Two that I did using the doily. This is on black paper. You can see the shimmer there. And this is also, it looks like an underwater scene of some kind, right? And then I was playing with paper towel, and now there was one of them that I did and it didn't turn out. Maybe that's what I was trying to do on one of these guys here, but this is the one with the paper towel, and I think if I played around with this a little bit more, you could get some really cool prints, because if you see here, it looks like a flower. So I think depending on the colors, I don't know, I'll play around and figure that out. And then this one is saran wrap and stuff. I just kind of pressed down to make an imprint. I used this stuff for something, I think maybe I put that on here also, just from a bag of oranges. You guys, just anything that you can use to make an imprint. And if you can't find anything, we all have paper towels, and I think we pretty much all have plastic wrap. This one, I was just playing around making marks on my jelly plate with acrylic paint markers. I was using this stuff that I don't know what it is. A roll of some kind of lacy fabric stuff. Let's see, here I've got another black one. I think I was trying to do something on here and it didn't work out, and then I ended up just painting. I used a stamp for the grass here. I pretty much just keep adding things until I'm happy with it. I kind of like these soft colors. Now these are just, I'm not sure what I was trying to do here, but something didn't work out and I just started adding color. So you'll see this is all lots of bubble wrap, but I personally, these usually end up being my favorites. I just feel like I can't go wrong with bubble wrap. This one's kind of loud. This was at the very end. I was really pressing my bubble wrap down to get all the paint off of it, so all these little pieces were coming off. So that's kind of cool. I wanted to jump in here and show a few photos of different types of lace that I tried to use, and you'll also see this in the video. A few more things that I wanted to show here, guys. Playing with string, some lace doilies, and alcohol inks. So let's get started. I'm starting off playing with this piece of string, and this is definitely something that I liked trying. And later on, I had the idea of using, instead of this thicker piece, I use a whole bunch of thread from my sewing machine. Just, you know, those extra pieces, and I liked that too. And I'm thinking, when I take my string off, this would have been a good place to add a little bit of interest with my paint marker before I put my layer of paint on. Now, one thing that I've noticed that I will mention is that if you're using metallic paint, it's not always the best to use to pull up layers. So you see right now I've got those little bits of paint that are on my jelly plate. In order to pick that up, it's better to just use a regular acrylic paint. And it's important that you get the right amount. It has to be a thin layer, but enough that it makes everything wet and will pull it up. So it's kind of just a thing that you have to experiment with, I guess. And this is where I'm realizing I need more color, and that little bit of that pale blue that I had added is not going to do very much. So I'm just adding another color on top. And this does not really do much, as you'll see here, but it's okay. I can put this aside and I'm going to add to it. But now I put this layer on, and this ends up being one of my favorite prints. I want to add a little bit to this dark blue that I just pulled. So I'm just adding a little bit of gold to my bubble wrap. And I'm also going to put some onto my jelly plate. So now this is much better. I love the dark blue and the gold colors together. So this is good for on my jelly plate because now I've got that little bit, that first layer is already down. So that's also something that you can do whether you're using a stamp or using your paint markers. And sometimes if I want to add a little bit more color or interest to a print, I'll just kind of tap it onto my jelly plate when I have something like I have on right now, that little bit of bubble wrap. But you can also stamp your images, like I'm just sort of stamping them with my bubble wrap. Also in the video, you'll see sometimes if I put my first layer down and it has a little design on it, sometimes it's too much paint. So I will just put a paper down and blot it very gently just to get a little bit of that paint lifted off. So you can see here, I'm going back through prints that I already did. I really like the string, but it doesn't really do much. Definitely felt like it needed a little bit more going on the print. So that's why I'm going back through and just adding a few more layers. And you can also see from reusing this piece of bubble wrap, some of the other colors of paint come off. So I really like that. So don't worry about cleaning your bubble wrap if you like that kind of look. It just adds a little bit of those other colors that are smooshed in there. So here's a look at some of my favorite prints that I did and what I used to make them. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you for my next crafty adventure. Thanks for watching.